In other news, engineers are scrambling to prevent another hydrogen explosion at the crippled Fukushima nuclear plant by pumping nitrogen gas into a reactor there. Meanwhile, efforts are continuing to prevent the level of contaminated water from rising inside the plant. Accepting the fact that radiation problems are not improving, the Japanese government is now considering expanding its nuclear evacuation zone to better protect the people.
The pumping of nitrogen gas is aimed at preventing hydrogen from exploding inside the containment vessel of reactor number 1.
The injection of gas is moving on smoothly.
Fuel rods inside the number 1 reactor are nearly half exposed because the coolant water level is low. It is believed that the overheated rods caused a buildup of volatile mix of hydrogen and oxygen, which could result in an explosion. But nitrogen reduces that possibility. Workers will conduct the nitrogen injection process for 6 days. Once successful, TEPCO will do the same for reactors number 2 and 3. In an entirely separate problem, TEPCO says the level of highly radioactive water has risen 5 centimeters in the underground tunnel connected to reactor number 2. They are monitoring the problem closely, but hope to avoid hampering the cooling system restoration work. TEPCO will also continue to release 8,000 tons of low-level radioactive water into the sea to make room for more highly contaminated water to be properly stored. They have so far discharged 6,000 tons of the contaminated water into the sea. With little progress being made, the government is warning the masses living within the 20 to 30 kilometers of the Fukushima plant that they may be ordered to evacuate even further.
Our current standards for evacuation are based on a scenario where massive amounts of radioactive materials are released in a short period of time. There are areas where radioactive substances have accumulated. The Nuclear and Industrial Safety Agency will look into how to deal with these areas.
The Fukushima disaster has released traces of iodine in the air all over the world. While a United Nations scientific body says the radiation fallout is not expected to have any serious impact on people's health, the International Atomic Energy Agency says otherwise. The IAEA is expressing deep concern over Japan's decision to dump radioactive water into the sea. Back at the Fukushima plant, TEPCO vowed it will scrap at least 4 reactors once they are under control, but also admitted the process could take years or even decades.